sexy, I've got the look that drives a girl wild. I've got the move.
Thank you for having me here tonight. But basically, I have one thing that's been on my singlet for the last, I'm getting old so I can't remember how many years ago it was now, but I think it was 1997 when this blonde-haired goofball and gray-eyed turtlehead, whatever you want to call him, Vince somebody, screwed me over. You screwed me over out of what was my title and pushed me out of this goddamn company.
13 years ago, get over it, Brett. How many things
How many years ago was it?
You wrote a book since
No,
then?
I honestly want to know how many years ago.
I don't even know myself.
Alright, that's what I thought, because look at you.
So, well, let's do the math right now. 17, 2007, 8, 9, 13 years ago. 13 years ago, Brett.
Is that the best you can do?
That's the best I can do.
The best you can do?
I'm running DX.
Guess what? That's not gonna allow you to beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. Nor did it work at WrestleMania 25. I'll tell you that right now.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
How many WrestleManias have you won, Brett?
Enough.
One.
I can count on one hand.
One hand.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
What?
I know a way to change that.
What do you want to do, Brett?
Let's have a match for this title right now.
You're really looking short.
Right now. Yeah, and you're looking a lot darker than you were in 1997 too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because all that money's got you stuck in the tanning salons, and look at you.
Look at me.
I thought you lived in Texas. Don't you get enough sun?
I do. Go. No, that's it. You want the belt? Let's do
No,
it.
let's do. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
Tell me what we're gonna do.
This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're having a match for that title right now.
Right now.
I don't care about John
Cena's
Cena's little spinning title or the one they stole from WCW. I don't care about those. We're having a match for that. I win. I face the Undertaker. I face the Undertaker if I win this match at WrestleMania 26, and I end his streak. Something you were not. God, I hate this guy.
You want to reenact what happened, Brett? Turn on your dance. Do you know who? How does that feel, Brett?
Legendary Assault 1187 here, and basically we just decided to do that skit for fun. We've been planning for a long time, but we're leading into a video that will explain if Bret Hart and Vince McMahon for the second time around can really blow TNA out of the water come March 8th and, you know, really surprise people with the angle that they're leading into. So
yeah, TNA is really doing a lot of stuff to really make themselves different from WWE. Not different, but they're bringing a lot of people in that were in WWE at one point and kind of draw the fans while they're there to watch their product. Like some examples would be Rob Van Dam, Orlando Jordan, I don't know if that really counts, but Val Venus, another guy who's not all there, but still, the Nasty Boys, just a whole bunch of guys, Ken Anderson, but just a bunch of guys like that who didn't make it in the WWE, but their fan base will go to TNA just to watch them.
Yeah, like, for instance, I've always been a huge Kennedy supporter, and I like seeing him on Impact. Yeah. It's just one of those things that when he's on the Impact card, I look forward to his matches, I look forward to his promos. So, you know, I'm not exactly your biggest TNA fan, and I'm hoping that TNA will keep growing on me with, you know, every single move. But yeah. Ken Anderson is a start. He's a guy for me that I'm always going to be watching. I'm always going to be looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. But that's one problem I don't get about TNA is the fact that they're using guys who already made a name for themselves, such as Jeff Hardy. He's a big guy who jumped over, but he hasn't signed a contract yet. But what happened to building your own stars and making your own people instead of just stealing what Vince has already made and just kind of feeding off of that?
Exactly. Because Rob Van Dam's gimmick, he's one of those guys that doesn't really have much of a gimmick, but his gimmick, it's not going to change. They're not going to do much with him. Rob Van Dam from WWE in 2000, whatever, will be the Rob Van Dam in TNA. Yeah. Even Ken Anderson, you know, / Mr. Kennedy, same gimmick, same person. Nothing's gonna change with them.
Yeah.
And
But you want to talk about a guy who has changed? Have you seen Abyss's new character?
I have not actually.
Oh, he's the new Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan gave him his Hall of Fame ring, and Hulk Hogan or Abyss comes out to Hulk Hogan's WCW music now, American made. So you know, there you go.
Stuff every day.
Abyss is supposed to be the monster type guy, but now he's almost as kid friendly as Rey Mysterio or El Generico for those indie fans. Yeah.
I love El Generico. I love El Generico. Just in the ole, ole. Anyways,
Speaking of, we got ROH.
Legendary Assault video, ROH and Comic Con perhaps.
Yeah, one video in together.
Okay.
There's more you want to talk about.
We'll stop promoting ourselves.
Yeah.
So basically, this video is: can TNA compete with WWE come March 8th?
Yeah.
Not just March 8th, but come March 8th and onward.
And you got to remember, they're not going live every week. It's every other week, but it will be coming on Mondays every week.
Can Vince vs Bret draw enough ratings to make even the TNA fans question themselves and question their product and question whether they can seriously compete with WWE? In my video, the 4 questions, 4 answers, 4 explanations, I said they changed the ring because they didn't want to look cartoony.
We're promoting ourselves now?
And no, but I'm explaining something. Didn't want to look cartoony and didn't want to look eccentric, and that's why they changed back. And we all know Hulk Hogan didn't care for it.
Yeah.
But changing back is just one more way to compete, one more way to look like a different wrestling company, but in the same, you know, in the same group.
Yeah, but you got to think of it another way. When after WrestleMania, Bret's contract's over. So what's WWE going to do after WrestleMania when Bret's gone? The storyline's over. You know, they got to build up their feuds. They got to put more effort into their matches. Because you're going to get a whole bunch of fans going to TNA because they know that the wrestling's better. And I'll admit it, I think TNA's product's a lot better wrestling-wise than WWE, but...
Storyline-wise, creatively-wise, is no comparison.
No, yeah. But WrestleMania time, WWE really put it in, what, 4th gear, 5th gear, whatever gear, and that's a stupid time for TNA to really decide to start going to Monday nights.
Or decide to change things. Just keep doing what you were doing because it was working for the most part. I mean, you weren't selling 20,000 seats, but you were still...
But the fans were all behind you.
Were all behind you. The 6-sided ring was their thing. The X Division was their thing.
But they have a pay-per-view coming up, too, to rebuild it. But they're more focused on Lockdown as it is because, you know, they're promoting that like it's 2012.
But I'm just thinking, you know, timing-wise, I don't think it's great for either company. I think it's good. It's not going to be as interesting as the Monday Night Wars. There's no way. But timing-wise, I think there's going to be a pretty nice little rush of things happening because you know, WWE, like Mr. Assault and Battery here said, really pushes things to the limit come WrestleMania time and storyline-wise. I mean, you look at Triple H versus Randy Orton, it lagged on too long, but when it started, it was great.
It was amazing. And now you got HBK Undertaker, which everybody's talking about in, you know, the internet wrestling community, to, you know, even Raw. In NXT, there was like 3 segments just promoting that one match.
And how appropriate that WWE puts out NXT at the same time TNA is trying to rebuild. I mean, it's one of those...
you got to think about it like that.
It's one of those things that, well, TNA is going to try to change things, try to screw around with us. We're going to do something that none of our fans expected, and even TNA doesn't expect.
Yeah.
We're going to throw Daniel Bryan against Chris Jericho in the main event.
That was, amazing.
You know, who would have thought that was happening? We're used to seeing John Cena versus Randy Orton 6 weeks in a row. So, timing-wise, I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And that was the basis of this video.
Oh, Edge versus Jericho, too. That's another... That's kind of like the undercard of it, too. Like, they're not focusing on that as much. They are HBK Undertaker, which is a good reason, because the build-up towards that match is going to be insane. And
you'd probably expect this to come out of my mouth, but the Legacy Triple Threat, if it actually goes through, the build-up for that will be good, too, especially if the fathers get involved. I think it's going to be an interesting build-up. So both companies have a lot to focus on, and both companies' fans have a lot to look forward to.
WrestleMania is looking amazing, and TNA, I'm sure Lockdown's going to be just as good, because they know the timing. It's just a couple weeks apart from each other.
In my opinion, the rumored WrestleMania 26 card already surpasses the WrestleMania 25 card. Already. Especially since you're throwing Undertaker and Shawn Michaels in a match again.
Yeah, and just the stakes are going to be... Well, this is turning into a Shawn Michaels Undertaker video.
Well,
but anyways.
I guess it is, right?
I guess so.
That's their whole... Think of WrestleMania 26 and WrestleMania 25 picture is, you know, you'd think of that match, and the same thing's going to happen this year, but...
Well,
it's basically some competition.
This is a good little discussion video. I haven't done these in a while.
Yeah, I know, it's been a while, yeah.
Good times.
But day in the life coming pretty soon.
Yeah, a couple weeks. By the end of the month, we'll be up.
We'll be on.